I'm Philip Shepherd. I'm here with Ilan. So looking forward to delving into whatever issues seem most vibrant to us. One issue that seems vibrant to me just at the moment is I feel, and I sense you do too, like a growing recognition that embodiment is crucial to our lives as human beings. Um, and even as that recognition takes root and begins to flourish, there's a huge unspoken resistance to it. And I'd love to get your sense of the nature and the reasons for that resistance.
I would never choose to learn in another path than embodiment, but it's so painful to tap into embodiment. And it's not about embodiment, but it is about the reunion of the inner and the outer world. It's about the reunion of the here and now and the transcendence. So by embodying this reunion that all of us know and are in our essence, we can use the term of embodiment in order to be a living proof for suffering is unnecessary. And we are inevitably a living proof for we want to share and we want to love, and we are vibrantly alive and we love this life. And then seeing all of this fear from freedom, fear from sensing, fear from embodiment is just, it's such a workout. It's such a workout. It seems to be so much easier to sit down and pray to a God who is externalized from me, or to do a meditation technique, or to be fancy in my yoga leggings. But embodiment is underneath, and it's something, or it can be something underneath, or it opens up the field underneath. And I think, Philip, all of us, we are defending our misery because we are so much more comfortable with being small than with the truth that we are incredibly powerful. And whenever we tap into this direction of being incredibly powerful, we hit the upper limit of who are you talking about yourself like that? Like you are a sinner, you are a human being. And my biggest aspiration is if we human beings want to change this world or want to hand over a happy world to our children where it wasn't a mistake that we made children in our lives. When we want to do that, we have to overcome the comfort zone of being a sinner. We are not. Primarily, we are not. We are traumatized beings, and that is, we are twisted in our perception. But everything that we are doing is still an innocent attempt of our instincts, of trying to get that we survived. So there is no enemy, there is no problem in that way, or the problems are in another way. And I'm not, there is no language in which I can say something and point with the words towards what needs to be pointed at. And I'm walking through this insanity 24/7. And my nervous system can handle that. And every nervous system can handle that. But it is a workout. And I'm so outraged about this culture. In this moment, Philip, it's so easy to see a young woman who cries and to write a fucking YouTube comment about her being desperate or needing help. And all of that is such a bullshit. How is it possible that we forgot the dignity of tears and desperation and shaking things up? How is it possible that we started to respect the suit, the PhD, the functioning? How is that possible? All of us want to stop holding back, and nobody does. It's always the safer game. It's such a comfort zone for me and for everybody else. For example, in this case, me needing whatever, a tissue, an advice or something. Yes, I would have needed some tissues. You would have needed some tissues. You would have needed a bit of support, a bit of advice, a bit of friendship in dark times, Philip. Yes. And at the same time, I think you need less than most people because you are more alive. And if everybody else is also alive, he or she might show up. Why do we have so much to wait for each other? Why do we have to be so correct? I feel so tired of titrating the things I have to digest inside. I'm so tired of being nice, but I feel in these moments how risky it is to be not nice. It's so risky. The more I go into the risk, the more it's about just being naked and vulnerable and wounded. Why do we think that we need the outer world, Philip? We need our inner world. We are starving because we lost it. What has happened? It's just trauma. It's not something individual. It's not even something complicated. Yeah. So eventually, maybe, why do we run from embodiment? Because we run from losing our masks. And I'm losing a bit of my mask right now, and it doesn't feel comfortable. It feels vulnerable, also because, not because I'm crying or looking weird, but because I can filter less how much I talk about myself or others in good or bad terms. All of that is so vulnerable. Trying to see oneself is so difficult because it's so, whenever you tap into the direction of your own powers, you get beaten up. Everybody does. It's so much easier to be humble. I do not want our traditional spiritual teachings talking about humbleness. We need to be humble, yes, but not where we think we need to be humble. We need to step up where we think we need to be humble. We need to be proud about our existence, about our capacities, and we need to be greedy about getting them onto the road. It would be so much fun. And here I am, and it's like, yeah, would have been so nice using this recorded time for something that it's a cool teaching. But at the end of the day, you gave so many powerful teaching in your lives. Everybody did. I did myself. We like it, and we head over to the next duty. That is what we are doing with powerful teachings. So who am I feeling bad right now? Not just because my neocortex is not talking in a blah blah script. Maybe we are over the time of being in powerful teachings. Maybe it's about, I don't know, exposing the earthquakes in our souls. I do not know about the next language, but I'm tired to try to squeeze something powerful in these seconds of attention. Yeah, that feels like dignity. It feels like it's so easy to love everybody, but there is a sacred wall of, first of all, everybody goes and fucks himself or herself, including me, myself. And after that, there is a kind of cleared field where we do not owe each other anything. Nobody owes you his attention, or me his or her attention. And then we can meet as free beings, being angry. and being smart and being desperate and courageous. Yeah. And I do not have to hand over my dignity or freedom in order to be worthy of attention. Oh, Philip, I obviously trust our meetings.
It is so refreshing
Yeah.
to have wounds exposed, Ilan. Because I sit here and I look at the utter insanity of the way we are living. And it's so hard to feel hope because the the web of comfort and entitlement and isolation, it's in every mote of our daily existence. It's in the way we pave our roads and have this is for cars and this is for pedestrians, and the red light means you stop and the green light means you go, and we are driven by authoritative messaging that we are not aware of, and that the rage of being that is ignited by that compromising of who we are is life-saving. But rage is a bad emotion. You shouldn't feel anger. Anger is sort of self-harm. No, anger is this cry for truth and for life. And I look at this wound, and I see it. No one's responsible for it. It's what we've inherited from, from my point of view, from the Neolithic Revolution, where we've begun to take control. And then the issue is, what do you put your trust in? And we do not put our trust in life. We put our trust in order and control. We don't
into the
trust
prison.
Yes, it becomes a prison. And within that prison, we feel separate from the world. We feel separate from nature, from the sky, from the breeze. Like, I'm in here and the world is out there, and I can just organize myself, and if I do that well enough, I can win. And then I'll exploit what is out there to my best advantage. And isn't that success? So we've put our trust in a form of success that has absolutely nothing to do with wholeness, with growing into your responsiveness and your responsibilities and your felt relationships, recognizing your primary truth, which is that you belong to the world.
And I would even say recognizing our primary desires and instincts.
Well,
We deal with these things as if we would have to sacrifice our pleasure in order to live up to be those ethical beings. And it's like, no, we would have to tolerate our pleasure. That would save the world overnight.
How much pleasure is there in a prison cell? Right? Where you have your little TV and you have your little book and you have your little phone, and you hunker down, and there is this teeming dance, and the world is summoning you. It's whispering to you at every moment to come and join it. You have been born with these gifts that no one else in the world has ever had, this unique cluster of gifts. And at every moment, the world is calling you to live them and risk and play and give yourself to that joy.
So weird that we ended up here in a Zoom call trying to do an advertising for being happy and in paradise.
Yeah.
Like what has happened to a setting around that makes those settings happen? I mean, it's like all of these layers of global suffering and acceleration of dynamics becoming obvious, because I do not think that also the COVID dynamics, etc., are something new, but something that makes it way easier to recognize the dynamics that were running the script anyway. So let's talk about nothing new happened, but in an incredible new way and super exciting new way in order for us to study and to learn and to shift the game. And it's like there is a global urgency that I can feel in the mornings. I started systematically, because you asked me also about my path of embodiment, and I'm not so much into sharing like how I got into that, because it might be, yeah, I did a dance class and whatever. So I mean, I think a row of aha moments, but there was an increasing sense of I have to do something in order to organize that I stay alive with my kind of perception, and that has led to a way an incredible systematic, and I'm studying every day and becoming more precise every day, but it's a super precise script day by day already, which is really about when to wake up, when to drink what, when to do what, etc. And it's flexible. However, it is mainly based on me getting up incredibly early, between 2 a.m. and 4 a.m. in the morning, when I'm in Berlin, but the world is sleeping, the human world is still sleeping. And my nervous system, and not mine, I mean my nervous system, but at the same time, I would say the nervous system, it's almost flooding into this global situation, being this global situation, and looking for moments of where to stop holding back, how to stop holding back. It's like a living research that all of us are in this era. We have never been here before. We never had these urgencies and challenges around. Never, ever something has been globally so threatening as in this era being handed over to us.